Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to my page, Money Making Juggernaut. I'm your host, Derek Richardson, the #1 educator in the asset recovery business. Today, guys, I have a great video in store. I'm gonna break down how you can determine how to properly charge for surplus funds. For helping somebody submit a claim, you might say, well, what do I charge? Do I charge them 30%, 50%, 5%, 10%? It's unknown. In today's video, I'm gonna make it known. All right, guys, so if you're new to this channel, welcome back. Go ahead and hit the like, hit the subscribe button. I'm coming out with content so you guys can dominate in this industry. Now, this is a common question that I get all the time. People are saying, how much should I charge? Well, in today's video, I'm gonna break it down. First, we need to understand the complexity of the case before we just throw out a percentage. If we are dealing with a simple, clear-cut case where we have the previous owner that is ready to file the claim, we've done our due diligence, there is no second mortgage, there is no lien, it's pretty clear as day, it's gonna be super simple on our end. We're gonna get the claim form, we're gonna get that notarized, we're gonna attach the certified copy of the deed, we're gonna attach proof of identification, and then we're gonna submit our documents. Probably gonna take us 2 hours max. I would say anywhere between 15 to 30%. Reason is, you won't go in with a set percentage. All right, every claim I'm charged with 30%. The thing is, like, let's say you find a surplus 200,000, you might be able to negotiate 15%. Then you get a surplus claim for 40,000, you might be able to negotiate 30%. So it's going to depend upon the complexity and the dollar amount, and most importantly, what you can negotiate. Because I can tell you all day, oh, let's go charge 20%. But let's say the client has other companies contacting them, or they believe 20% is too high. You will have to negotiate, present your value, and get the client signed up. I'm going to be the first to tell you guys, do not be greedy in this industry. Any percentage is better than no percentage. Because to be honest, the amount of work that it takes to do this paperwork, like I said, it takes about 2 hours maximum. It's going to be well worth whatever percentage that you receive. But ideally, on clear-cut cases, between 15 to 30%, it's going to depend upon what you can negotiate. Now, if you are contacting somebody in a pre-foreclosure state, you can get away with that 30% a lot easier than post-foreclosure, because they're going to have other companies contacting them. Pre-foreclosure strategy, very effective. I teach this in my course. You should definitely check it out if you have. If we have a claim where there's multiple owners, it's a deceased claim, we're helping heirs, or it's an entity and we think that it's probably going to be complex, might involve interpleader, we need legal counsel, you're going to be looking more so towards the 25 to 30%, even sometimes 35%. Reason being is it's going to require more work, more effort, and legal counsel coming in, especially on a deceased claims. If we need to get a probate, if we need to get a summary administration, if we need to get an affidavit of heirship, we need to get death certificates. There's a lot that goes into it. All right, so we're going to need to charge a higher percentage. And if we're working with the heirs, it's a lot easier to get them at that 25 to 35 percentage than the previous owner. This is money that's coming to them that they had no idea about. You have to stick firm on your percentage and explain the value. How do you do that? If somebody asks, well, how much do you charge? What is the best way that you can explain this to get somebody to feel comfortable with it? You can explain to them the value first, then the percentage. If somebody says, how much do you charge? Don't just say 30%. Somebody says, how much do you charge? You could say, well, for starters, we cover all legal costs associated with this. So our legal team, we're going to go in, we're going to do our due diligence, we're going to check to see if there's liens, we're going to check to see if there's a second mortgage, we're going to gather all of the pertinent information, all of the required documents, we're going to get that, we're going to schedule the notary for you, we're going to file the claim, and upon a successful payout, we'll receive 30%. So you keep 70, we get 30% for our efforts. That sounds a lot better than just saying, hey, 30%. Present your value, then explain the percentage. When it comes to really being successful in this business, stick firm on your percentage, but also understand that you can do high volume by accepting a percentage if somebody thinks it's too high. Like if somebody says, oh, 30%, that's too high. Now I'm going to teach you guys a strategy that you can close them immediately. If I lower this rate for you, I'm going to have to come back to my boss. You have a hierarchy to your business. You're going to say, but I'm going to need you to expedite this to sign today. If you can sign today, we can lower it to 25%. Guys, I've closed so many deals doing this strategy. All right, instead of getting somebody at 30%, they think it's too high, boom, I can drop it down to 25, I can drop it down to 20, 15, but I need you to sign today. Send over the e-sign, whether that's Rabbit sign, DocuSign, Adobe PDF sign, whatever it might be. Send that, have them sign ASAP, and get them locked in. So when it comes to percentages, we have to understand we must present our value first, stay firm on your percentage, but also be open to negotiation and realize that any percentage is going to be well worth the time associated with doing this. Now, before we end this video, I will give you guys one gem. You can separate attorney costs from your percentage and scenarios in which you're going to be hindered on your percentage. Prime example, let's say you're doing a claim in the state of Washington. They have their cap. You find a client has a pretty decent surplus, but with that cap and using an attorney, you're probably not going to make much. You're going to have enough to cover the attorney's costs, and you might only make a couple hundred. You can separate the attorney filing costs from your company's success fee. Very great strategy that I utilize. We handle all the legal costs. They don't pay anything up front, but it will be separate. We'll have the attorney costs, then we'll have our cost. All right, so let's say, for example, we're charging them 20%, and then the attorney fees are $3,500. That way, you can still receive a pretty good payout for assisting somebody. So if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. If you want to learn how to do this business from somebody who's been doing this since 2018, still actively doing, helping hundreds of students, go ahead, check out the link in the description, use the code TAKEACTION, you'll receive $100 off, and I'm looking forward to helping you out.